Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. So the next question is, what can we learn from examples? During the most recent school board meeting, there's been a continued push to give the superintendent control of any donations. They've changed the numbers around. Right now I'm hearing $6,000 to $8,000. Anything under $6,000 to $8,000 or up to $6,000 to $8,000, the superintendent, the school board, or at least some members of the school board, are saying, let's just let the superintendent take care of that. I have to compliment two members of the board, Miss Aspis and Miss Haskey, because they said, we don't think that's a good idea. Mr. Pickering, Mr. Kenlichi, Mr. Montoya all seem very certain that this is a good way to go. And especially Superintendent Benavides. Mr. Benavides, not Dr. Benavides, Mr. Benavides, seems to think that this is the way that it's done all over the place. Mr. Pickering gave some examples that I'd like to address. He said, I think that people should be able to donate to their own particular school because we're going through rough financial times. And any thing that helps the schools is good, whether or not it helps all the schools or just one. And he gave an example. He said, in colleges, people give donations to particular schools, like the School of Arts and Sciences, the School of Business. And he said, I never heard of anyone being required to donate to those other schools. Well, let's talk about that. Number one, colleges cost money from the students. They pay to go there. That's not what a public school K through 12 is. But let's put that aside for the moment. When people give money to, say, a School of Arts and Sciences, say they want to donate money to create a new concert hall, just an example. Every student that's in that school gets to benefit from that new facility. Maybe you have a major where you are a finance major, but you take a music class because you want to broaden your education. You get to use that facility. You get to enjoy the benefits of it because it's all under the same school. Now, let's apply this example to Central Consolidated. The school board and the superintendent are responsible for every single school, every elementary, every junior high, every high school. And according to the Yazzie-Martinez agreement, they are supposed to do their absolute best to make sure that equity is applied. Not say that people in one school who may have parents that have more money, or people who want to donate to that school because of whatever reason, can just donate to that school. And if facilities are going badly in another area or they can't hire enough teachers, well, that's just too bad because they don't have enough money. And we aren't going to do anything to help all the schools. We're just going to make sure that people can give money where they want it to. When people serve on a school board, they volunteered to fulfill the duties of a school board. And one of the main duties of a school board is to determine how money is raised and spent. All members of this school board volunteered for that job, and they seem to want to give away or not do their job. I don't know why. They may have good intentions, but their good intentions don't matter. Their job is to be in charge of how monies are spent, not the superintendents. The superintendent is supposed to allocate funds after they are approved by the school board and Make sure that they are dispersed in the correct way. Every function is specified. Everybody is supposed to do their job. And when you give the superintendent of any school system too much power, it can be abused, whether they meant to or not. One last thing. If people are determined to give money to help the educational outcomes of students, I find it highly unlikely that they're going to say, I only want to help students in one school. And if they are, then in my opinion, they're looking at it all wrong. It's about community. It's about working together. It's not about dog eat dog. I'm sorry if this one sounded a little upset, but I'm very disappointed in how this school board and administration is acting. Oh, and last thing. Mr. Pickering said at the end of the school board meeting on the 19th that he wanted the next meeting to revisit the issue, and he wanted to make sure that Superintendent Benavides had some examples of people accepting donations of multiple thousands of dollars through the superintendent. Why didn't you have examples of that to begin with? And if they are so widespread, why didn't you bring them up during the meeting? You know why? I've looked at school board regulations for quite a few different districts, both in New Mexico and other places, and I find very little to no evidence that this is common practice. These are not the things that people do in normal situations. So if you want to tell me that this is the normal way of doing things, I disagree. As always, keep yourself safe. Wash your hands, wear your masks, social distance, and if you can, please get the vaccination. Have a great day.